Right now on Apple Valley News Now in prime time.
An off-duty Kennewick Police Department officer arrested for a potential DUI.
And we have an update on a local sheriff arrested for DUI back in May.
Plus.
And if it wasn't for the Emancipation Proclamation being signed, Black people wouldn't have had an opportunity to do what we do.
Coming up tonight, we'll tell you about a popular Juneteenth celebration that's been happening for years right here in Pasco.
Chick-fil-A is finally here in Kennewick, and as you can see behind me, the lines are packed. I'll tell you more about how today went coming up.
And a beautiful evening outside. You see the clouds, a big weather shift as we head into the first day of summer. The news in prime time starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now, prime time on your side.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of Apple Valley News Now after the NBA Finals. I'm Wendy Redmond.
Hi, everybody. I'm Austin Reed. It is June the 19th.
We begin tonight with this. A Kennewick police officer has been arrested on suspicion of driving drunk after crashing his vehicle while off duty. This happened just before 10 o'clock Wednesday night. Officers with the Kennewick Police Department were called to the 1000 block of North Montana Street for reports of someone crashing into a parked car. When they got to the scene, they found off-duty officer Fernando Ramos and believed he may be driving under the influence. Investigators with the Benton County Sheriff's Office have taken over the case. Ramos was arrested at the scene but was released a short time later on $1,000 bond. No one was hurt. In a statement, Police Chief Chris Guerrero acknowledged the seriousness of the incident, saying, quote, "Driving under the influence is a serious offense. We're committed to learning from this and continuing to serve with integrity on and off duty."
New in prime time and out of Oregon now, the Umatilla County Sheriff has pleaded no contest to DUI and has entered a pre-diversion program in another state. Sheriff Terry Rowan agreed to pay a fine of $490 at a court hearing on June 13th. On May 16th, Rowan was arrested in Gillum County for DUI and reckless driving. He sent a message shortly after his arrest to the people of Umatilla County saying he, quote, takes full responsibility for the situation, end quote. Pleading no contest means he doesn't admit guilt to the crime, but accepts the consequences of a conviction. His next court date is set for September 12th on the reckless driving charge. New on the Fire Watch, we have an update this evening on a wildfire burning in Kittitas County, which broke out late this afternoon outside the city of Ellensburg.
Firefighters and aerial resources say they have stopped the progression of the fire near Colocum Road for now. But take a look at all that smoke from these images. The DNR and Kittitas Valley Fire and Rescue responded to the vicinity of Trail Creek Road. It burned around 60 acres. The fire was burning through timber, heavy brush, and grass. Early indications said it was spreading north.
Now, earlier in the day, level 3 go now evacuations were in effect, but levels have now been lowered to level 2 above the 900 block and 9000 block of Colocum Road. And level 1, be aware from there down to Trail Creek. Stay with us for updates at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Another fire broke out in the Yakima Valley yesterday, this time in Zilla. Firefighters were called to Vintage Road around 6:30 last night for a vegetation fire that is now known as the Ross Morris Fire. With the help of a helicopter, it was contained shortly after 7 p.m. Ultimately, 15 acres were burned. Thankfully, it does not appear that any structures were damaged. Well, the first day of summer is tomorrow.
Yeah, get ready for that. But actually, kind of some parts of Washington might be seeing a little bit of wintry action.
Apparently.
Very odd. Let's check in with First Alert Stacy Lee to find out more about who could be possibly seeing a little sprinkling of snow.
That's right. We could be seeing a little sprinkling of snow in the Cascades. I was checking out Montana. They could see a foot of snow in Glacier National Park. That's crazy. Let's take a look outside, though, right now. Beautiful sunset on our Legends Casino Skycam, 74 degrees, winds at 7 miles an hour. Unfortunately, these winds are going to be picking up overnight. But take a look at our humidity, 33%, much better than we've been doing over the last couple of days. So overall, things are looking pretty mild tonight, down in the 70s for most of us, already down to 64. That's the cold front moving across our region, and winds continue to be an issue in the Kittitas Valley and the Columbia River Gorge. Lighter winds here in the Columbia Basin. Those winds are going to start picking up as we look forward to another windy day tomorrow. Temperatures tonight, pretty mild. We're going to be in the 50s. Good sleep-in temperatures outside. So breezy to gusty winds continue, especially tomorrow. Cooler air moving into the area. We're looking for some scattered showers over the next few days, and then we're going to see some snow in the Cascade Mountains above 5,000 feet, and that needed 3 exclamation points, because when does that happen in the beginning of summer? We'll talk about that coming up. Austin, Wendy.
A robbery at a local business in downtown Pasco is now under investigation. Cops were called out to the Alex, a money and jewelry shop off of North 5th Avenue and Lewis Street earlier this afternoon. Police say it wasn't an armed robbery, but the bad guys may have tied up a clerk in the process. No one was seriously hurt. The thief got away with an undisclosed amount of merchandise. Police are still asking for help from the public as they spent the afternoon looking for the suspect. They say if you have any surveillance video of that area, to contact them immediately. As the search for Travis Decker, the father accused of killing his 3 daughters in Chelan County, continues, Whitney Decker, the mother of the girls, will be honoring her children at a memorial tomorrow night. The event begins at 7 p.m. and is being held at Rocky Reach Park in Wenatchee. Event organizers say there will be limited parking, so guests are encouraged to carpool. Attendees are also encouraged to bring something to sit on and a glow stick or candle. The memorial is being described as a time of reflection, unity, and love.
Well, new tonight, with school out for summer, crews in Sunnyside are moving ahead with phase 2 of a sidewalk safety project near local schools. The city just approved funding to install 24 new ADA curb ramps, building on work completed earlier this year. Most costs are covered by the state, but Sunnyside will pay a bit more than expected due to the engineering limits. Construction could start next week, with plans to wrap up before school's back in session. Work started this week. It is expected to be complete by July the 14th. And in Yakima, after years of fundraising, East Yakima will have a community pool of its own. The new aquatic center at MLK Junior Park made a splash at its ribbon cutting this afternoon. Kids lined up, eagerly awaiting their turn to jump in. Eric Silvers, who was involved in the efforts to build the pool, said it will provide valuable to the community.
Well, I got to be able to watch some kids being able to try it out, and it was just very emotional just to watch them, to be able to know that, they're going to learn skills that are going to last a lifetime, whether it's swimming lessons or water safety.
If you are looking to join in on the fun, the pool will be open 7 days a week through late August. Now to community events. A major event kicked off this morning in Pasco, celebrating Juneteenth, while also giving back in a big way.
Apple Valley News Now's William Albert shows us more about the event and why Juneteenth means so much to so many.
The Juneteenth Freedom Day of Service got underway at Kurtzman Park in Pasco. The event, which was hosted by the Tri-Cities Juneteenth Committee, focused on community support and giving back, something that's been a tradition in this community for many years. Director of the event, Irving Brown Sr., says that while the event has a long history in the community, it's ultimately a celebration of freedom.
The goal is on the day of giving, is my term. I love to give back. On this Juneteenth day where, freedom just rang for us as people of color, right? So we want to give back to the community.
And giving back is exactly what the Juneteenth Committee continues to do, free of charge.
This is our day that we give back to our community. So today we're out here giving away clothes, we're giving away shoes, we're giving away all kinds of like kids stuff for kids. We're giving away free food.
Folks were even able to get a free haircut at the event.
We have the haircuts that happen. So our barbers will come down from various barbershops and beauty salons and come and cut hair.
But understanding the history behind Juneteenth is just as important as the celebration itself.
Juneteenth is an important holiday of freedom and commemorates the day that Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas to inform enslaved African Americans that they had been free for more than 2 years since Abraham Lincoln first signed the Emancipation Proclamation.
And if it wasn't for the Emancipation Proclamation being signed, Black people wouldn't have had an opportunity to do what we do. And so that's why we celebrate that. We celebrate the past, we celebrate the present, and we celebrate the future to come.
Remembering history and celebrating what's ahead. In Pasco, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
This Juneteenth celebration has been a tradition in the Pasco community for nearly 50 years, and organizers say it keeps growing every year.
The news in prime time is just getting started. Coming up, we have an update on what's on deck for Pasco Park's revitalization.
Also ahead.
He's saying that if Iran does not come back to the negotiating table within the next 2 weeks, that the president will strike.
The very latest on the situation between Israel and Iran and the United States.
Plus, we'll check back in with Stacy, who has your full First Alert weather forecast. Thank you for joining us on this late Thursday night.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. It's a commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Red, white, and brand new appliances. Declare independence from laundry delays with Get It Today inventory at Fred's. Looking to save space in your laundry room? Shop GE and Profile Laundry this 4th of July.
With exclusive savings at Fred's Appliance, you can save $1,000 on this GE Profile all-in-one washer and dryer combo.
Plus, save up to $500 with an additional Fred's Buy More, Save More exclusive rebate. Swing into Fred's Appliance to shop all exclusive GE and Profile laundry sales today.
It's the 45th anniversary sale at Walker's Furniture.
This is one of our favorite events where we get to celebrate these great years with you.
And that means friends and family pricing throughout the store, with savings up to 45% off.
And get special financing for up to 5 years. So you can get it today and pay over time.
From our family to yours. We'd like to thank you for 45 wonderful years.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Now, get $4,250 total customer cash, plus $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting them to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah, or whatever nurse is available, comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
Attention viewers. Good News Today, produced by Richland Lutheran Church, airing Sundays at 9 a.m., will be airing this Saturday, June 21st at 9 a.m. Good News Today will resume its regularly scheduled time Sunday, June 29th at 9 a.m.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. It's a commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Register today. Register your team for $140. Ends midnight Tuesday, June 24th.
We turn now to the new statement from President Trump on Iran. The president huddled with his national security advisors in the Situation Room for the third day in a row.
So his new timeline for any possible direct action against Iran. ABC's Mary Bruce with what President Trump said about any potential direct U.S. action against the country.
For the third day in a row, the president hunkered down in the Situation Room, deciding whether the U.S. will take direct action against Iran. This was the official statement afterward, read in the briefing room.
I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks."
I asked the press secretary if there's no progress in the next 2 weeks, does that mean the U.S. will bomb Iran? Is he saying that if Iran does not come back to the negotiating table within the next 2 weeks, that the president will strike?
The president is saying that he will make a decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. It's very clear and direct.
Is he seeing any signs of progress? He obviously is holding out hope for negotiations, but is he seeing any inklings of progress that give him that hope that talks are still possible?
Well, that's why he said in the statement that I just read for all of you, based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, he will make that decision within the next 2 weeks.
What makes him think there's still a substantial chance?
I'm not going to get into the reasoning and the rationale. The president believes that, but that's his position, and he will make a decision within the next 2 weeks.
The White House today stressing that Iran has everything it needs to achieve a nuclear weapon, saying once the supreme leader gives the go-ahead, they could complete production within a few weeks. A source familiar telling ABC News a key factor weighing on the president's decision, the time needed for additional U.S. military assets to arrive in the region to defend American interests if needed. It could take several more days. One carrier strike group still in Virginia. But the pressure to make up his mind only growing. According to a source, the president is troubled by the deep divisions in his own party about what he should do, hold out for negotiations or join the attack. One key ally who's been urging restraint, Steve Bannon, spotted at the White House today. Tonight, one source telling us Trump is trying to psych himself up, convince himself that whatever he ultimately decides to do is warranted. The president's new 2-week timeline to decide, a blow to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has been desperate for the U.S. to join Israel's ongoing assault on Iran. In the last 24 hours, Iran striking back. Video circulating online showing the moment a ballistic missile hit a major hospital in Israel, smoke billowing into the sky. Tel Aviv struck too. Our Ian Pannell is there.
Dozens of Iranian missiles fired into the heart of Israel's biggest city. You can see the destruction to the building here.
Tonight, Netanyahu pressed on Trump's decision.
President Trump will do what's best for America. I trust his judgment.
And all of this is coming as European leaders are expecting to meet tomorrow with the Iranians in Geneva. One senior official telling us tonight that the president hopes this 2-week timeline will, quote, give the Iranians some room to come to their senses. But make no mistake, the president still has this high-stakes decision to make, and now he's given himself a deadline to make it. Mary Bruce, ABC News, the White House.
Tomorrow in Geneva, European representatives from France, Germany, and Britain will all meet with Iran's foreign minister in an effort to find a diplomatic solution to the conflict.
In more local news tonight, at last night's Pasco City Council and Parks meeting, community feedback took center stage, especially when it came to the future of city parks. Councilmember Leo Perales says most of the comments came online and the message was clear. Residents want more park amenities. That includes shaded areas, pickleball courts, chess tables, and seating made from natural materials. Perales also highlighted a bigger vision using parks to tell Pasco's story with features that reflect the city's history and culture.
The fitness zones, I think, are better used when they're kind of spread out along a pathway where somebody can stop and do, sit-ups, have a sit-up stand or pull-ups or little things like that. I haven't seen the fitness zones where they're all grouped together used very well.
You can still make public comment through the city's website.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
So we had a fairly nice day for our final day of spring, and it looks very lovely outside. However, you're starting to see those clouds move in across the skies. 71 degrees, definitely cooling down. Humidity definitely going up, which is good. Winds are picking up, though, and that's going to be the situation going forward for the next 24 hours. Temperatures through the area, 60s already in Ellensburg tonight, 70s for the rest of the area, and we'll see those temperatures dropping down lower. Here's what's happening out on satellite and radar. Look at that ridge of low pressure. We've got the clouds moving in and a big shift in our weather forecast going forward. Here's Futurecast. We're tracking some rain tonight, mainly over the Blue Mountains, Tollgate down to Cabbage Hill this evening. Pretty much not impacting our region. However, you see the cloud cover coming through. Most of those showers moving off to the east. Here's where we go into tomorrow afternoon, where things get unsettled and we'll start to see some scattered showers through the area, even into the Tri-Cities. But take a look here in the Cascade Mountains, White Pass area. See those little blue pockets? That's cold air and potentially snowflakes falling in the Cascade Mountains on Saturday, our first full day of summer. And again, we see that here. It's even worse. I was doing some reading earlier into Montana, and they're expecting up to a foot of snow at Glacier National Park, which is insane for this time of year. Not unheard of, but it has happened. Let's talk rain totals. We're not going to see a whole lot of rain out of this system, mainly in the Cascade Mountains. You could see about a half an inch or so, less than a tenth of an inch or a tenth of an inch through the lower elevation. So not a ton of rain, but some good moisture and better humidity levels through the area. Here is that cold front that's moving through with that upper level low. That's putting temperatures anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees below our average for this time of year. And you can see it here on our temperature trend for the next 7 days. Now, don't worry, it doesn't last long. We'll be right back into the 80s and then into the 90s, where we'll see our first full week of summer finally living up to its potential in the middle of the week. So there you have it out there. All right, let's take a look at winds. This is the big story. Again, it's been pretty blustery tonight in the Ellensburg area and down in the Dalles. As we move forward, you can see those winds really starting to pick up, and they start moving more to the east, where you'll see Hermiston seeing those gusty winds overnight tonight, and then eventually along the foothills of the Blues into the Cascades. So gusty winds tomorrow gets even windier, and we'll see winds up to 55-mile-an-hour gust in the Ellensburg area, 35 in the Tri-Cities, and 30-mile-an-hour in to the Yakima Valley. Here's those temperatures overnight tonight. Pretty good sleeping temperatures in the 50s, but pretty mild, much cooler than we've been seeing. First day of summer, we have a slight chance of rain in the Tri-Cities and windy conditions. And look at those lower temperatures that we've seen in quite a while. Remember, this week we started in the 90s, and earlier in the month we saw temperatures in the triple digits. So quite a cool down coming up, and unusual for this time of year. Here's Ellensburg. That's where we're really going to see those gusty winds tomorrow. Fire danger is lower because of humidity levels and temperatures. However, we still have lots of dry foliage out in the area. Here's what it looks like in Walla Walla. Gusty winds and rain showers over the weekend, with temperatures finally growing back into the 90s by the end of the week. And in Hermiston, 70s to the 60s, back to the 90s. So very active weather. Again, it's the roller coaster of spring, but now it's summer tomorrow officially. So
is there normally a summer roller coaster we need to know about?
Usually it's like, 80s, 90s, and maybe even tipping up into the triple digits right now. But yeah, not this year.
No.
So different.
It's the ride we can't get off of, I guess.
That's right.
What are you going to do? All right. Thank you, Stacy. Still ahead here on the news in prime time.
SpaceX calls it a major anomaly. We'll tell you all about the explosion when we come back.
Ryan wants to get every new device that's smart. I'm wondering, how can the internet handle all of this?
We have Spectrum Internet. We use it for everything. Homework, remote work from home, doing research for trips.
Spectrum Internet allows us to do things faster and more conveniently.
I feel like that's a win-win for everybody.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
It's a brave face we put on. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. Don't want to be any trouble. But you know, sometimes we're not fine. Because getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we're human and we're aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. Anywhere, anytime. Call 988.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Now, get $4,250 total customer cash, plus $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Watch for it in your mailbox. Bonus zone savings include Pepsi brand 12 packs, buy 2, get 2 free. Save $3 on Old Trapper 10-ounce beef jerky. Plus find Seattle's best 12-ounce ground coffee for $5.49. Wrangler men's regular fit jeans are just $17.99. And Mobile One 5-quart full synthetic oil is $21.99 after rebate. Store-wide 3-week savings are happening now at Bi-Mart since 1955.
I'm a martial artist, a skydiver, a pilot, and all of them require your feet to work. Get up in the morning and it felt like I was standing on marbles on my heel. When I went into the Good Feet store, the fitting was personalized. It was all about me. You put in the arch supports and your day becomes better and the sun shines, the unicorns run by, and you know, it's a good life. I'm Randy and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Time to check this out. And caught on camera, an explosion rocked South Texas late last night. Take a look. It came from the Starbase facility that's located near Boca Chica, Texas. According to SpaceX, it serves as the company's primary site. Yeah, wow. For developing and testing its Starship rocket. SpaceX called it a major anomaly. The Starship rocket was preparing for its 10th flight test. The company says all its employees are accounted for, no injuries. It is also said there is no danger to the surrounding area. Cause of the explosion and extent of the damage it caused still not yet known.
Wow. Well, a section of Interstate 40 closed near the Tennessee-North Carolina border due to flooding and a rock slide on Wednesday. As you can see here, multiple vehicles submerged in the floodwaters. Workers had to remove the center dividers to allow stuck vehicles to turn around. No reports of anyone hurt there. Coming up next in our next half hour, Washington State Parks are looking to hire. We'll tell you about the positions they need to fill when we come back.
Fly the Northwest over a beautiful bike ride. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Boom! Some munch for you.
Sounds like someone's got the munchies.
Is it too much to ask for you to play a little bit better?
Wouldn't make much difference with your aim.
Hard to miss your big head.
Okay. Hey, we said no head jokes. Build your own munchie meal.
Or get mine.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Summer's almost here, and so is your next Subaru. The countdown to summer sales event is on at McCurley Subaru of Yakima, and the time is running out to lock in today's prices before potential market changes hit. Get ready for sunshine, road trips, and serious summer savings, like on a new 2025 Subaru Forester today for only $344 a month. Summer's coming fast. Lock in your deal today. McCurley Subaru of Yakima, your way home.
This summer, big wins come in sevens at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Get ready for the $100,000 Lucky Summer Sevens giveaway with over $12,000 cash up for grabs every Friday and Saturday in June. The heat is on, and so is the grand prize on June 28th. 3 winners choose 7 cards with prizes. Reveal 7 sevens and instantly win $17,000 cash. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, celebrating 3 decades of fun.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Now, get $4,250 total customer cash, plus $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
It's the 45th anniversary sale at Walker's Furniture.
This is one of our favorite events where we get to celebrate these great years with you.
And that means friends and family pricing throughout the store, with savings up to 45% off.
And get special financing for up to 5 years. So you can get it today and pay over time.
From our family to yours, we'd like to thank you for 45 wonderful years.
Appliances that spark joy and big savings. Come check out all LG appliances on sale and in stock this Independence Day at Fred's Appliance. From induction ranges to dishwashers to washers and dryers and so much more, you'll find explosive and exclusive sales on all LG appliances this 4th of July. Save 30% with our truckload savings on this LG refrigerator, now just $15.99. Plus, save up to $500 with an additional Fred's exclusive Buy More, Save More rebate.
Behold my Jackraps, 100% all-white meat grilled or crispy chicken with lettuce, cheese, and sauces, and a warm tortilla for just $3. And they're under 400 calories. So if your goal this year was to save money and eat healthy-ish, we got you.
It's time to lose your generic weather app. Scan this QR code to download the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app. It's the app you need from the team you trust.
The Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app, only from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Coming up tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, it's Friday, and if you don't have weekend plans, we'll have a list of local events that are happening in our area.
And winds are going up, shower chances going up, and temperatures going down into the weekend. I'll tell you how cool tomorrow morning at 5 on Good Morning Northwest.
Apple Valley News Now in prime time continues. New this half hour, as the prominence of AI grows, Senator Maria Cantwell is voicing her opposition to a new AI law moratorium.
Plus, the grand opening of Chick-fil-A was today. Our Dan Hansen takes us there.
This is Apple Valley News Now, prime time on your side.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Juneteenth. A lot of people had the day off today, and it was pretty nice weather-wise.
Yeah, it was gorgeous out there. Not very hot, comparatively speaking. I mean, I can't believe these temperatures lately, and then now we're starting summer tomorrow, and it will not feel very summer-like, I don't think.
Now, let's check in with First Alert Stacy Lee. So break this down for us.
Yeah, you know, tomorrow, the longest day of the year on top of that. But look, the sun has set. We have some clouds covering and a great night for some Dust Devil baseballs. The boys are on the field as we speak on our Dust Devil Sky Cam. 74 degrees, very nice. Now, I've been pointing this number out here, our humidity levels. Remember, we were down in the teens. The moisture is starting to move in, so that's bringing the colder air through our area. Definitely can feel that. Winds have picked up a little bit tonight, and they're going to pick up even more so tomorrow. Look for a very blustery day. Temperatures are nice and mild this evening, although we are cooling down, especially in the Kittitas Valley at 64 degrees. Everybody else, most of us in the 70s tonight. The winds are still a situation, though, in the Kittitas Valley tonight. 37-mile-an-hour gusts. The Dalles also very windy, much lighter winds as we go through the Columbia Basin. That's going to be changing tomorrow. Temperature-wise tonight is going to be nice and mild, good sleeping temperatures outside in the 50s, well below 60 degrees overnight. Those breezy and gusty winds continue tomorrow. It's going to be very blustery on Friday. The good news is it won't move into Saturday, our first official weekend of spring. However, cooler air is moving in, Plus, we're going to see some much needed scattered showers. And I can't believe I read this today, but we could see some snow above 5,000 feet in the Cascade Mountains, and even more snow if you head towards the east into Montana. They could see up to a foot of snow at Glacier National Park for the first day of summer. So kind of wild out there. I'll break it all down coming up. Austin, Wendy.
All right, time to talk chicken.
Let's do it.
All right, it's the day chicken fans across the Tri-Cities have been waiting for. Chick-fil-A officially opened its doors today in Kennewick.
Yeah, the Southern favorite fast food chain is now serving up its famous sandwiches, waffle fries, and signature service right off Canal Drive.
Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen was there for the grand opening and shows us why this new location is already the talk of the town.
The wait is over, Tri-Cities. Chick-fil-A in Kennewick is officially open. And judging by this line behind me, they're ready for it. The new location on Canal Drive in Kennewick opened bright and early at 6:30 this morning. Don Hodges, the owner-operator for Chick-fil-A Canal and Columbia Center, says this has been a 5-year mission of hers, bringing crispy chicken sandwiches, waffle fries, and about 130 new jobs.
We're also going to be very, very excited and proud for our team members who are local community members. A lot of our teenagers through adults to just enjoy serving others in our community through wonderful food and wonderful hospitality.
Customers started showing up early and often to get their hands on that wonderful food Hodges mentioned.
It was like either 12 or like 11 or 12 right around there. Okay. Of last night. Oh, I already know. I have my order planned out and everything. I'm getting those little chicken biscuit, the mini things. Yep, with a frosted coffee. Yep. I'm gonna get a lemonade and some hash browns.
Lines to the drive-thru were backed up all the way past the Hobby Lobby and Walking Building. To make sure traffic was flowing, the Kennewick Police Department worked alongside Chick-fil-A to come up with a traffic plan.
We're going to be trying to mitigate any traffic issues and getting any lines that are building up onto side streets and within the big parking lot there where the Hobby Lobby is. That way we can try to get those vehicles off the roadway.
Hodges says she's anticipating the rest of the day to be just as busy, but also fun. From the feel-good mission to the feel-good food, Chick-fil-A is ready to serve the Tri-Cities. Reporting in Kennewick, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Chick-fil-A is open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 6:30 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. KPD will be out there for a few days to help continue to get traffic flowing in the area.
So they're still open as of right now. You have 5 minutes, everybody. Other news tonight, Washington State Parks looking to fill some big gaps, especially when it comes to maintenance and construction jobs across parks statewide. The agency currently has more than 700 employees working across its 123 parks, but with nearly 800 historic structures to maintain and miles of trails to care for, they're looking to hire even more, particularly seasonal and full-time park aides and construction workers. However, according to the state, filling some of those roles, especially in parks on the east side of the state, more of a challenge.
That is kind of asking for a special sort of person who is interested in that. And there's plenty of people who are, but it's not quite as easy sometimes to fill those positions.
All right, if you're interested in working for Washington State Parks or learning more, head to applevalleyNewsNow.com. Now to local living, a member of the Toppenish Police Department has received a potentially life-saving gift. Canine Grom has received a donation from Vested Interest in Canines. The organization has provided over 6,100 vests all across the country. The custom-fitted bullet and stab protective vest is made for four-legged friends and, of course, those law enforcement members.
If you are traveling through eastern Oregon this summer, you could face delays, so pay attention here. 31 super loads are scheduled to be transported, traveling about 10 to 30 miles per hour along portions of US 730 or 37. It will also include Interstate 84 in Pendleton, US 395, US 26, and possibly 201. Travel is scheduled from the Port of Morrow to Pilot Rock at night, and they will pick up from from Pilot Rock to the Idaho border during the day and at night. Because of the size of each shipment, both lanes of two-lane highways will be used, which could result in delays. Schedules are flexible and subject to change.
And Washington Senator Maria Cantwell has voiced her opposition to the AI law moratorium recently passed by the House of Representatives. The provision would prevent individual states from limiting, restricting, or regulating artificial intelligence for the next 10 years. Senator Cantwell argues that this moratorium would wipe out hundreds of laws designed to protect Americans from harm. One such law is the Elvis Act, which bans the use of AI to impersonate artists. The senator is now working to implement the Elvis Act at the federal level.
They are trying to prohibit policy that is already on the books. This either in the form of prohibiting states from enacting or enforcing AI laws or regulations, or a regulation of language that says temporarily pause those laws that are now on the books related to AI. Neither one of those are acceptable to me. We should be fighting to protect consumers, not enabling AI theft or fraud to happen.
The senator's stance was backed by Washington Attorney General Nick Brown. Still ahead on your news in prime time, we have a health alert about fatty liver disease.
Plus, Stacy is coming back with a look at your full First Alert weather forecast. Just a gorgeous night out there. I need everybody to show a little appreciation there to the bottom of your screen. Mother Nature is showing off with the sunset tonight. All right, and while we have you here, make sure you scan that QR code on your screen, and that will get you our Apple Valley News Now weather app. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.